Playbook to Being the Other Woman. A fundamental understanding of relationships with one man and multiple women to provide a basis for relationship and family success. Introduction. If you picked this book up thinking it would be a guide to being the best mistress or side chick, then you might be right. For the sake of class and maturity, let's call it The Other Woman. If you're bold enough to dig into your family's history, you will find that an uncle or grandfather had another family that no one else knew about, except for maybe mama, until his funeral. This woman was looked at as a whore, a homewrecker, and her children, his own children, as bastards. When I met my husband, he had already been successfully married for 14 years. I knew about her from our very first conversation. In the midst of an exciting, budding relationship, she was the furthest thing from my mind. I felt no worry, no fear, no doubt. I was locked into him, and I believed he was locked into me. It may seem far from you right now to understand how a woman could accept a lifestyle where she is not the only woman. For the sake of transparency, my husband was not the first man I met that was in a relationship with another woman. I had been conditioned through my upbringing to believe that a man should only be with me. In dealing with someone that I cared about, then finding out they were in a relationship with others, I immediately reverted to that standard mindset of a woman scorned. I toiled with the angry, insecure, self-deprecating thoughts that comes when a woman finds out that her man has another woman. I planned the confrontation, and I acted. In the midst of that conversation, I was given the gift of truth. Full of emotion, I asked, "Why do you have me in your life? What is it that she's lacking? What is it that I'm lacking?" His response, "I fuck with you because of who you are. And I fuck with her because of who she is. Not because she lacks anything. Not because you lack anything. It's just who you are." The relationship obviously did not work out. But the gift of that enlightenment I carried with me until meeting the man who gave me his name. Prior to meeting my husband, I could be quoted by girlfriends in conversations of infidelity stating that it's not the other woman's responsibility to be faithful in that relationship. He is the one who made the agreement with her. And to be clear, this is not the point of view of a woman seeking to hurt or ruin anyone's relationship, but from the perspective of a woman who saw enough value in a man to her life to maintain a relationship with them, although he was in a relationship with someone else. Doing so peacefully is the tact. Never confronting or approaching that woman in any manner. And if that woman found out about the other woman, to move with respect, never as an aggressor or react to aggression unreasonably, for most of us have been taught possessive love and competitiveness. I understood even then, as long as there is respect, peace can be achieved. There are multiple types of poly relationships, but we have chosen to practice polygyny, one man with multiple women. Us women have dedicated our lives to one man only, happily so, while he has the discretion to add as many women to our household as he pleases. Sorry to disappoint anyone seeking to indulge in personal fantasies, but there is no sexual contact between the women of our household. That goes against our personal and spiritual values. As two successful, intelligent, confident, and attractive women, the question is often asked, why? Simply put, family structure and prosperity. No, this choice of family is not a get-rich-quick scheme. We are aware that financial prosperity will come when there is genuine love, respect, and partnership among all participants who focus on their duty as wives and husbands instead of self-serving thoughts that can get in the way. Maintaining the nuclear families our husband created is of utmost importance. There is no reason he should have to choose between households of children that all belong to him. To deprive a man of the opportunity to raise his children together is selfish and ignorant of the fact that this family structure benefits from. According to statistics, 15% of black marriages end in divorce or separation, with 50% of blacks choosing not to get married at all. We choose to be a part of that group of black Americans who choose to get married and stay married in hopes to inspire others to do the same, because the broken family structure is a root issue in our community. If you look at population ratios of women to men across the United States, it will be painfully obvious that women outnumber men. 2020 population data stated that there was 133,588 black women in Atlanta, Georgia. It also stated that there were only 114,170 black men in Atlanta, Georgia. If monogamy was the only family structure accepted in practice, there would potentially be 19,418 black women without a husband to choose from. This does not take in consideration the men that are not an option for any of these women. These men would be those who are deceased, incarcerated, homosexual, incapacitated, and quite frankly, some women would not qualify for certain men according to those men's standards and the woman's social lack of access to them. Neither of us are married to him through a contract with the state we live in, better known as a marriage license. We have chosen to be husband and wife by our own word and fulfillment of duty. Reflecting on the urban colloquialism, your word is your bond, this is how we choose to operate. Choosing not to be obligated to one another through legal documentation, but by our verbal agreement to one another, which is weightier on a moral scale because the dedication must come by personal choice rather than legal force. The question is often asked, how are decisions concerning advanced directives such as living wills, durable power of attorney, and healthcare proxy handled in a polygynous marriage structure? This is where legal formalities being in place are equally as important as communication and understanding of one's wishes. The journey of learning this lifestyle and becoming comfortable in it has not been easy. There were many times I considered walking away, not due to a lack of love, but out of frustration and insecurity in the learning process. There was no teacher to sit with me and guide me. There were few resources that I found that resonated with me. I had to gain this understanding through my own spiritual journey and a desire to better myself all around by being open to learning, relearning, and going against the grain of what was ingrained in me. The goal of giving my experience insight is to give others what was not available to me. Too often I have found women who speak with sincere boldness on this topic, sometimes harshly in my opinion, but they lack experience through living it in their own lives successfully. These voices are needed and much appreciated, but I believe that it's time that a seasoned woman such as myself step to the forefront of this conversation. I've spent the last few years speaking with women and guiding them as they navigate the understanding of their husband wanting another woman to come into their marriage, and women who are allowing themselves to be open to coming to a relationship where there is already another woman. Through these personal sessions, I found that a basic understanding of the foundation of this lifestyle is needed as a means of education to reduce or rid the fears associated with the topic due to women's unfamiliarity with it. Normalizing this lifestyle could save families and create more opportunities for women and men to find happiness. At times, I have had some women try to mock or demean this choice of relationship, but the gratitude shown by so many others has been greater. As you read through these chapters of wisdom and evaluate your own thought processes while establishing new ways of thinking, remember that every union has the right to design their relationship based on what works for them and their collective goals. The title, The Other Woman, does not only apply to the new woman entering as an established relationship, but also to the woman or women who were there first. She is also the other woman in that man's life from the entering woman's perspective. This universal title is meant to be a tool for women to consciously see things from the other woman's perspective. When we do this, it creates a platform of learning, compassion, and respect. The information supplied here is to give a solid foundational understanding in areas most critical to relationship and family success. Each area of concentration is multi-layered, and the specifics of your relationship may differ. But with the help of the information provided, you will be equipped to handle any situation your relationship may face. Playbook to Being the Other Woman.